hot end to a productive week over here. I hope your day has been good. Your week has has been fruitful. With this full moon this week, we've all been feeling something. So hopefully this session of movement is a nice way for you to wrap things up energetically. Since this is our Friday, it's going to be a more gentle flow. We'll just work a little bit so we can get our blood flowing, make the stretching happen a little bit easier uh, in some way. So we will start in a nice, comfortable seated position. I am here kneeling, sitting on a block. You can be sitting on the ground or on your mat, cross-legged, or in a chair. Wherever you are, just want to get yourself comfortable. Go ahead and rock from side to side. Stack the spine, maybe shake out the arms. Move your head and neck around a little bit. Just getting nice and neutral as we begin our practice. We want to start this practice by setting an intention. Where do we want to direct our energy, all this fire and air and water and grounding energy that we're going to be building up? What do we want to point that towards? Taking a moment to reflect, perhaps an intention to keep going, perhaps an intention to be easy on ourselves. Whatever it is that you want to direct this session, the energy of this session towards or for, bring that to mind. As we take nice deep breaths in through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Again, in through our nose, letting our belly get big, out through the mouth. In through our nose, and exhale, relaxing our shoulders, our face, our hands, our belly, letting it naturally rise and fall. Relaxing our legs as much as we can to keep us sitting here. And returning to our natural breath. If your eyes are closed, gently open them up. Releasing your arms down to your side. Next inhale, raise them up, gently lifting the gaze. Exhale, turning the palms out, taking the arms down. Inhale, stretching, reaching through the fingertips, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. One more time, inhale, bringing the arms up, palms touching this time. Exhale, pulling those arms back so they're at your ears, lowering the gaze directly in front. Inhale, extend the arms upward. Exhale, lean over to one side. If it's too intense with the hands touching, go ahead and release them, having them parallel to each other. Both sit bones, both feet, or both knees are still touching the ground, coming out of this just a little if you need. Inhale, extending. Exhale, leaning just a little bit more. Inhale, we come up, gazing upward. Exhale, down to the other side. We're just getting started, but we can check in with our face. How's our forehead doing? How are our cheeks doing? Don't want any tension to go into them. Just exhale it out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let those arms down and roll our shoulders out. Quick plug for my playlist. If you have Spotify, you can listen along with me. There's a link to that in your invitation for today's session. Listening to my sunset yoga mix. I'm not sure how to describe the style, but I think it's perfect for these sometimes strenuous but always good feeling sessions out here in the desert. Next, inhale, bring right arm up. Left hand comes down. Exhale, leaning over a little bit deeper this time. Inhale, extending that arm out. Exhale, gazing up towards your ceiling or towards the sky. Inhale, bring it up. Other arm comes up. Exhale, right hand down, leaning over towards the right side. Letting your gaze go up towards your arm, towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, both arms down. Wonderful. I'm just going to scoot back a little bit so I have more room. And actually, I'll take my block out. Again, we can do this whether we're kneeling or sitting flat on the floor, on our mat, or sitting in a chair. Gonna lift our arms up for an inhale. Exhale, folding forward, bowing down. Releasing our head down. Relaxing our hips and pelvis. Extending our fingers towards the mat. Using our full palms. Relaxing the neck and shoulders. We're going to drag our fingers back towards our body as we lift our torso up. Bring them all the way up like you're drawing that energy from the mat, from the ground, extending upwards, and exhale, folding down again. Reaching out a little bit farther. Next inhale, drag those fingers in towards your body, shooting them up towards the sky. Taking a moment, if you are sitting cross-legged, to change which leg is on top before we fold down again. If you're here kneeling with me, we're going to take one hand center, our left arm center. Open up that right a little bit. I'm on my fingertips over here, and I start to twist. You can take this arm up into the air if that's not too intense, or just add a little twist, pushing that left hand, left shoulder down, bringing your right shoulder back. And exhale, take it back neutral. Right hand center, left goes out to the side. Teeny tiny twist over to the left side. Exhale, coming back center. Inhale, drawing the arms back. Staying here with them at the side. Okay. So we'll all come to our hands and knees into a tabletop for some cats and cows. Still really wide hands, fingers, palms, full palms are pressing into the mat. Like I want to push it away. Wrists are underneath my shoulders. Shoulders are pushed away from my ears. Knees are underneath my hips. Tops of my feet are nice and flat, or trying to get them flat on the mat. So let my belly fall towards the mat as I lift my head, and then curl the pelvis under, pushing the mat away, tucking chin to chest. Let's exhale, lifting up. Inhale, tucking. Exhale, arching. Inhale, curling. We'll come back neutral just for a moment. Sit back on our hips, on our heels, and let's move our wrists around. Whether we're beginners at yoga or we've been doing it for a long time, we always want to check back in with our breathing. Our breath is our energy force, our life force. And if we're moving without it, or if it's moving without us, then we need to slow down. So this time when we do our cat cows, we're going to reverse our breathing. Instead of breathing in when we arch and exhaling when we curve, we're going to inhale when we curve, exhale when we arch, just so we can get back in touch with our breathing, have some control over it. Okay, so we'll start here neutral, nice neutral spine, neutral neck, head. Inhale. Push the mat away. Exhale. Hips turn up. Inhale. Pressing the tops of my feet into the mat. Exhale, feeling my spine stretching. And with a neutral spine, come back to our tabletop. We're going to start a cosmic kitty, cosmic cat, or a disco kitty. We're going to take our head around in a circle and our hips will follow. So we're going between our cat and our cow, stretching our spine, really giving it a massage, nice and gentle. And then moving to the other direction. Still keeping our face soft, jaw soft, letting it open and close as our head moves around. And then coming back neutral, sitting back on our heels, and once again, moving our wrists around. In both directions. Still maintaining a stacked spine here. We'll take our hands out to stop, turn those fingers down, keep the fingers pointed towards our body so our palms are flat down on the mat, and then we'll pull our weight back. If you can take your hips all the way to your heels, that's fine. Pressing our chest up in this lion pose. If we can't take those hips all the way to the heels, that's fine too. We're just going to pull back until we feel a nice stretch in our forearms and wrists. Still pulling those shoulders away from the ears, lifting the head and pulling the chest through. Coming back, flipping the hands over. Tops of the hands are now on the mat, pulling our weight back again. Lifting our head. And gently coming out. Hi, Sam. Move, please. Thank you. Coming back into our tabletop, gonna tuck our toes under and do a similar stretch for them. So pull our weight back, push our weight back until all of our toes are down on the mat And then we're just going to move our feet a little bit, do a little twist there to spread the toes out. We're just going to balance ourselves, stabilize ourselves with the hands, push the hips back, and then rock forward to stretch out the backs of our toes. Just do this for a few breaths. See if our toes have gotten this kind of attention lately. And then bring the knees down, untuck the toes, stretch out the tops of the feet again. Now with our toes just like that, we're going to lift the knees off of the mat and tuck them in towards our body, lifting the hips up, stretching out the tops of our feet, lowering our knees and hips down, raising them back up, just as we did with the backs of our toes. Going through this for a few breaths, stretching the tops of our feet. Then bringing the knees down and resting our wrists. Let's tuck our toes under, get to our feet, come to stand, and we'll do a few salutations. If you need blocks, go ahead and have them nearby. If you have blocks, go ahead and keep them nearby at the top of your mat. If you don't have blocks, you can use a chair or some books, or just don't go as deep into the stretch. If you need to hover above the ground, that's all right. I love to start in my mountain pose, being surrounded by mountains here. I like to look at them and try and get inspired by them in this pose. Try and understand the pose a bit better. So I'm staring at these mountains. Let's start at our toes, spreading those toes out, making sure we're using them, rocking our weight forward and back from side to side, feeling stable in our feet. Strong legs, we're drawing those knees up, not locking them out, but engaging the legs really strong, tucking our pelvis under slightly, belly comes in, stacking our spine, shoulders rolled back just a little bit, arms are open, palms facing forward, chin is lifted just a little bit, and our gaze is soft. Enjoying just breathing here. Taking one more breath in this strong and stable pose. Next inhale, we lift our arms up. Exhale, fold down. Bending our legs if we need, releasing our head. Inhale, torso lifts flat back. Exhale, lower down to fold again. Inhale, lifting up. Hands come down. Walk our feet back for our plank. Lowering down. Untucking toes, pressing up. If we're not quite ready for our upward dog, can get on our forearms for our sphinx. Relaxing our glutes, still pushing into the mat, shoulders away from our ears, lifting our gaze, lifting our chest. Exhale, lowering down, tucking toes under, pushing hips back. Our first downward dog of the day. And go ahead and walk this out, bending one leg at a time, taking our hips side to side, maybe even undulating the spine a little bit. And then coming center, even if our heels are not touching the mat, that's fine. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walking our feet in and folding one more time. Sinking our hips down, arms come up for our chair pose. Arms are at our ears, sinking the hips, tucking our pelvis under, breathing. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, arms down. And resting again in this mountain pose. Let's go for another round. Once we've got room on the mat, excuse me, sir. Move, please. Move, please. Thank you. Stay. Inhale, our arms come up. Exhale, we fold down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, enjoy our fold. Moving our blocks, stepping back, lowering down. Untuck the toes and chest comes up. Push our hips back, tuck those toes, and lifting into that downward dog. Looking through our hands, walking our feet in, hanging out here, maybe bringing our hands to our legs or to our opposite elbows, sinking the hips down, lifting our arms next to our ears, gentle gaze, tucking pelvis, easy breathing. Inhale, standing up and lowering our arms down. Let's go for one more salutation. Lifting our arms up and diving down. Flat back. Exhale. Next exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, pushing back. You still need some movement here for those hamstrings or your calves. Go for it. You need to bend the legs here. Give those muscles a break. That's fine too. Next, inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walking our feet in and hanging out. Sinking the hips. One more chair. You can shift your weight forward, get onto the balls of the feet, sinking our hips even more, lifting the chest up for a floating chair. Inhale, stand it up. Exhale, lower arms down. Wonderful. So we'll go through half or part of that salutation to get us into another pose, which I think will really encourage us to wind down from this week. We'll inhale ourselves up, arms up. Exhale, dive down. We'll take our right foot back, left foot stays forward, so we're in a lunge. Take our right heel in, and then we'll lift our chest up. Go ahead and lift the arms up for a warrior one, and sinking down a little bit more in this lunge. Gonna take a few breaths here just to do a body scan, starting up here at my fingertips, reaching, extending up towards the sky. Then thinking of my shoulders being nice and square, facing the mountains. Feeling my belly expand as I'm breathing easily. Sinking my hips down a little bit more towards the floor, keeping them square. Thinking of that back toe, that back right foot, making sure all of my toes, big to little, are all touching the mat. Then we'll rotate open up our arms for our warrior two. Lower our right arm, lifting our left for this reverse. Gaze is up towards our middle finger or all the way up towards the sky. Inhale, extend up. Exhale. Gonna take our left arm to our left leg. Gonna have our forearm on that thigh. Taking our right arm overhead. Don't want to sink in this left shoulder. Keep pressing away. Chest is lifted. Still using our legs nice and strong. And then sinking our hips down. One more breath here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, windmill those arms down. Take that foot out and lower back down. Lifting the chest here. Just resting in the Sphinx or upward dog. Let's take a moment to look over our right shoulder. And then over our left shoulder. Back center, lowering down, tucking our toes under. Hips come back. This downward dog. Looking forward, right foot comes forward, left heel comes down, arms coming up parallel to one another in this warrior. Keep extending those arms up towards the sky, grounding ourselves into our legs and feet. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, opening up to our warrior two. As we stand here, nice and strong and capable, let's take a moment, perhaps, to reflect on our intention that we set for this session. With that right arm up, reversing our warrior. Gazing up towards our hands, towards the sky, or even down towards that back hand as it rests on our leg. Inhale, reach. Exhale, left arm comes forward. Taking a moment to enjoy our breath, how it's carrying us through these poses. Next exhale, windmill the arms down. Take that foot out and lower all the way down. Untuck the toes and press the chest up. Feeling this extra lovely stretch in our back. Lowering our chest down, pushing the hips back. Pressing up for another downward dog. Looking forward, let's walk our feet in towards our hands and hang here. We'll inhale, lift up in a flat back. Exhale, turn our torso towards the left side. You can get both of your hands down or your fingertips to frame that left foot. Great. If you're working with blocks, just keep a nice flat spine as you're twisting, feeling a stretch over in the opposite side. Inhale, come back neutral. Exhale, counter twist over to the other side. Noticing any differences from one side to the other, any new sensations. Inhale, chest comes up. Exhale, back center, dropping the hips, lifting our arms. And we're back in our mountain pose. Lovely. Facing forward, we're going to take a big step so that we are parallel with our mat, or we're lengthwise with it, however you want to call this. Nice wide stance. And if you need the block, go ahead and move them so they're center just in front of you. So for right now, we'll keep our toes facing forward so everything is nice and square. And we'll open our arms up into this big star pose, hinging at our waist, flying the arms down. Hands are on the mat or on our blocks, releasing our head down. Pressing downward, lifting the chest up for a flat back. Exhale, bending the arms, folding. We're just going to keep moving with our breath here. Slight engagement in our legs, just as we do with our mountain pose. One more fold. Then we'll take our arms out to the side, strong legs, lifting ourselves back up, and then lower our hands down. So we're going to do something similar. Perhaps we need to bring our feet in just a little bit. We'll open up here in the star and then take our heels in, sinking the hips down into our garland pose. Then we're going to stand right back up, super strong legs, hips come forward, maybe for a little arch, and then sinking back down. If that's too intense, we'll just take the block to get behind us so that we can sit on that. Okay, setting ourselves back up. We're going to go for a few rounds of that, and then I promise we won't work too much harder in this session. Lifting the arms up, hips come forward, and palms together, sinking the hips down. Chest is lifting up, elbows pressing those knees open. Strong legs growing into a star. And sinking down, lifting our chest. And here, let's drop our hands down to the mat, turn those heels out, and lower our chest to fold one more time. Can even shift our hips back and forth here. Again, making little waves with our spine if that feels good. And then coming back neutral, back center. Let's bring our hands here to our hip bones, lifting up through our flat back, and feel towing our feet in to return to our mountain pose. Ah, lovely. So we'll do a few poses down on the mat. Move the blocks out of the way. And we'll have our legs extended out in front of us. So I personally like to call this one the flash dancer, but other folks like to call it an upward plank. We've got a few modifications depending on shoulder flexibility and mobility. So we'll have our fingers facing our hips, flat on the mat. And we put some mulch on my mat, so it's a little prickly. All right. So pushing those shoulders away from the ears, flat feet. We push our hips up and take our head back. If that is easy enough for your body, you'll start to extend the legs out, perhaps going straight, pushing those hips up, then getting flat feet, taking the head back. Hips come down, head comes down last. You can experiment with this. We're going to go up and down, back and through it a few breaths for a few rounds of breath. You can also tuck the feet in towards the body even more so that you come into this tabletop. Whatever you would like to do, we're going to set ourselves up and move with our breath. So we'll inhale, press ourselves up. Exhale, lower ourselves down. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, holding in. Inhale, hold in the pose. Letting your belly get big. Hips going up towards the sky. And exhale, hips come down. Bend the legs and give yourself a hug. Just counter stretching with those shoulders. And repeat. Nice. Next, we'll go for a figure four and a couple of twists. So we're going to cross our right ankle over our left thigh. Add a little bit of pressure if you'd like, if that feels safe, or just let gravity do what it does. If this is enough, you can just rest the arms extended, lifting our chest nice and tall. If we want to go a little further, we're going to inhale, spine tall. Exhale, fold towards that left leg, reaching for the calf, ankle, or even our foot. Lowering our head down. Inhale, extend the arms out. Exhale, release the leg. Inhale, switch to the other leg. And feel out the side. Will you go just as deep or maybe not over here? Try something else. Listen to your body. Listen to your hips. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, relax into the pose. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, release the legs. Crossing our right leg over the left again. This time getting our knee up into the air, foot flat on the ground. Left arm comes around to embrace that knee. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, right hand behind us for twist. Squeezing over our right thigh. Feeling the wind down. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, unwind to the other side. Inhale, our arms up. Exhale, release that leg. Maybe shake it out. Cross our left leg over the right. Embracing that left leg with our right arm. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, twist. Left hand goes behind us. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, unwind. Checking in with our legs and the rest of our body. What's working that doesn't need to? What's engaged that we can disengage in this pose? Inhale and come out. Lovely. We'll come down to our back. Making sure I got enough room. Extending our right leg out. Excuse me, let's extend our left leg out. Take our right knee into our chest. Just make little circles here. In both directions. We're going to take that knee with our left hand and bring it across to our left side, extending the right arm open. Keeping our shoulders on the mat. If we just need to support that right knee, that's okay. Again, checking in with our legs, making sure we're relaxing our hips, our quads, our calves, and our feet. Bringing that knee back center, trading hands, opening it up, maybe giving a little movement over there, and open our left arm. If you want, you can extend your legs straight here if that feels good. Hold behind the knee, whatever helps you to open that hip up and stretch that leg however it needs right now. Bring the knee back center, extend the leg, and bring the other leg into the chest for some little circles. Taking that left knee with the right hand, cross the body for a nice twist. Both shoulders staying here on the mat. Bring it back center, switching hands and opening the knee up. Just letting gravity relax, stretch, extend, ground your body, however you want to think about it. Bring the knee back into the chest. Bring the other knee in to meet it. And take yourself into some little circles. Chin is tucked into the chest. You don't have to be perfect circles. And then taking the soles of the feet down, we'll do just a little final engagement before we completely melt into our mat. We'll tuck our pelvis under, lifting our hips off of the mat, pushing into the mat with our feet, lifting the hips up until we are tucking our chin to our chest so the back of our neck is flat on the mat. And then focusing at the top of our spine, curling the back, lower down one vertebrae at a time. And relax the legs. Let's do that 2 more times. Tuck the pelvis under, lifting the back, the spine off of the mat, one vertebrae at a time until we're tucking our chin. Back of our neck is super flat. Legs are engaged one last time. Tucking, curling our back to lower ourselves down. And then releasing the legs. One last time, lifting up. Looking towards our belly, watching it get big as we inhale and fall as we exhale, lowering the back down, extending our legs out, and doing one last body scan, starting with our toes, our feet, engaging them to relax the muscle groups, feeling our calves, knees, thighs, hips, and relaxing them all. Feeling our belly and our back, doing a little twist if we need, scrunching our shoulders, bending our arms, making fists, moving our fingers, and then relaxing it all. Turning our head from side to side, maybe moving our jaw around, smiling or scrunching our face, engaging our lips, our cheeks, our forehead, our eyebrows, and relaxing them all. Melting into our mat, feeling the benefit, the reward of our session today. Letting the breathing calm. Noticing any thoughts as they come in, acknowledging them, letting them pass by. Beginning to deepen the breathing, feeling the air of the room on its skin, moving toes and fingers, running feet, legs, and arms just a little, just enough to shift over onto one side slowly and just lay here. And when you're ready, cushion yourself up to final comfortable seated position. Taking 3 intentional breaths here. Thank you for joining me today and enjoying the beginning of the sunset. I hope you have a great evening and a great weekend.